Well, to the Middle East now, where there's mounting uncertainty over whether a Gaza ceasefire deal will survive beyond a deadline this Saturday. That's when Hamas and Israel are supposed to move into what's known as Phase 2. As the first phase draws to a close, 59 hostages are still being held in Gaza, and thousands of Palestinians remain in detention in Israel. Giles Gibson has more from Tel Aviv.
The bodies of 4 deceased Israeli hostages were handed over in the early hours of Thursday, the final group of the first phase of the Gaza ceasefire deal. In total, 33 hostages plus 5 Thai nationals have been released since mid-January. But in what's known as Hostages Square in central Tel Aviv, a vigil that's lasted more than 500 days goes on.
If the ceasefire doesn't go through and the deal stops in the middle, and our people will be left there, then it would be an enormous pain and fear for us, and mostly a torture for the people who are still held in the hands of the terror organization that tore them from their families, from their lives.
Hundreds of Palestinian prisoners have also been released by Israeli authorities, but in Gaza and the West Bank, the sense of unfinished business lingers.
90 يوم واحنا مكلبشين ومغميين بالغماء على العينين، لا عين لا تشوف بني آدم ولا بني آدم يشوفك، وكانت القعدة تبعتنا على ركبك أو على مقعديتك لاستمر 18 ساعة وبال20 ساعة، لكن احنا خلفنا فيه لسه أسرى. الفرحة ما كملت عنا كاملة، ليش؟ لأنه في خلفنا أسرى.
Talks over Phase 2 of the ceasefire deal, which would see the release of all remaining hostages and Israeli troops withdrawing from Gaza, were supposed to begin weeks ago. But tensions flared up again and again during the first phase. Anger in Israel over hostages being paraded on stage in Gaza as they were released, and Hamas also accusing Israel of violating the deal multiple times, including by delaying the release of hundreds of prisoners. And from the Trump administration, a key mediator, there's been a steady stream of fiery rhetoric about the future of Gaza and the deal itself.
Look, that's a decision that has to be made by Israel, by Bibi, but Israel has to make that decision. We got a lot of hostages back, but it's very sad what happened to those people. I mean, you had a young lady with her hand practically blown off.
As the clock ticks down to Saturday, Israel has confirmed that a delegation is heading to Cairo for talks. So at this stage, 3 potential scenarios are starting to emerge. 1, a sudden breakthrough in talks over Phase 2, but that looks increasingly unlikely. 2, some sort of extension to Phase 1. Or 3, the ceasefire collapsing entirely. Giles, Gibson, CNA, Tel Aviv.